What I'm about to say is going to upset some people, but hear me out. If you want to grow an organic garden, you should never use Miracle-Gro. While it's a household name and popular among a ton of gardeners, there are lots of reasons why if you want to grow your own organic food, you shouldn't put Miracle-Gro in your garden. In this video, I'm going to outline 7 reasons why Miracle-Gro does not belong anywhere near an organic garden. And the 7th reason is the most important. And don't worry, I'll give you the perfect alternative to grow a huge, productive, beautiful garden without ever using this stuff. The first reason you'd never want Miracle-Gro in your organic garden is because of its impact on the soil. So Miracle-Gro is a concentrated solution of chemicals. It's high in nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. Now these are nutrients that all your plants need, but it is in a very high dose when it comes in the form of Miracle-Gro. Your soil should be the thing you focus on the most when it comes to an organic garden. And when you put something like Miracle-Gro, a synthetic fertilizer, into that soil, it disrupts all the natural wonder, all the natural processes that the soil has developed itself to balance out its nutrients, to have its own web of life, and to nurture the most healthy plants. Miracle-Gro focuses on big, luscious, beautiful plants, but it depletes the thing that's most important in an organic garden, which is the great, rich soil. The second reason you do not want to use Miracle-Gro in your organic garden is because it stresses your plants. Think about if you wanted to get healthy, if you wanted to change the physique of your body, you have 2 choices. One, you could eat a lot of nutrient-rich food, go to the gym, work out. You're going to slowly see change in your body. It won't happen overnight, but days, weeks, months, years from now, you're going to look like a different person. Or alternatively, you could take some steroids. You might get a really fast change in your body, but you're not necessarily going to feel great on the inside. The same happens in our gardens. When we want our gardens to grow and be beautiful and productive, there's really 2 ways to do it. One is naturally building the soil, planting great seeds and plants, and tending them over time. The change isn't going to be immediate, but over days, weeks, and months, you'll see this beautiful, productive garden happen. Or alternatively, you can introduce chemical substances into your garden to try to speed up the process. You will get luscious, big, productive plants, but at what cost? Next, Miracle-Gro and synthetic fertilizers destroy microbes and organisms that are living inside your soil. Most of us think of soil as an inanimate object, just a thing. But inside soil is a ton of life. There's an entire ecosystem living in the soil inside your garden. And the harsh chemicals from a product like Miracle-Gro can destroy these microbes in a single season. Microbes that took years to grow and develop in the garden can be gone overnight when you douse it with fertilizer. The next reason you don't want to use Miracle-Gro is because of the chemical runoff. It's easy to assume that the things we put in our garden stay in our garden, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Every single time there's a rainstorm, every single time that there's water in your garden, all those chemicals aren't staying right here. They're running off with the rest of the rain from your yard and landscape. That water goes to your gutters and ends up in the waterways all around your town and city. That means Miracle-Gro isn't just on your plants. It's going to be in the rivers and streams around where you live. That means the wildlife you've come to love and I'm sure want to protect will be swimming in and drinking Miracle-Gro. This is going to surprise you, but plants grown with synthetic fertilizers have actually been shown to be less strong, to be weaker when it comes to protecting themselves from pests and disease. Those plants that have grown with Miracle-Gro, they've come to rely on these synthetic substances to help them grow fast. And so when they find themselves attacked by pest or disease, they no longer know how to lean on their own natural defenses to take care of themselves. So believe it or not, this synthetic fertilizer that you're using to grow big plants actually weakens them and makes them soft. The next reason to not use Miracle-Gro in your garden is because what it takes to make this. I mean, just look at the packaging. It's a huge, big plastic box with plastic inside, and then lots of tubes of plastic filled with things that were made using fossil fuels. Every single part of this product costs the environment a lot. and for what? Let me tell you the most important reason not to use Miracle-Gro, but before that, I gotta give you some alternatives, right? And before that, I gotta tell you about this incredible resource we have to help you grow the organic way at Gardenary. So I've been doing this method for years. I call it the Gardenary planting method, and I wanna tell you all about it. When you plant your garden this way, there really is no need for fertilizer. So check out the link, I'll put it right below this video. You can find out all about the Gardenary planting method. It really makes a difference the way you plant your garden, whether or not you need something to help it grow. Now, let me tell you my favorite things to add to the garden instead of using synthetic fertilizer. The only things I would ever add to my organic garden to help it grow faster or better or support the health of the plants would be things that nature would provide for it as well. So I use just two categories to think through this process. It either has to be waste from an animal, or it can be the decomposition of plants. So essentially, it's either gonna be some kind of manure or castings, or it's gonna be some kind of compost. Now, my three favorites are first mushroom compost. This is one of the least expensive and the easiest to find. The next is earthworm castings. This is simply the poop from earthworms. Very easy to find, and even you can grow and make your own. Let me know if you want me to make a video all about that. And then finally, leaf mold compost. This is the richest thing that I add to my garden, and I can make it with leaves from my backyard. In fact, I made a whole video just about making leaf mold compost, and you can watch it right here. I have a saying in my book, Kitchen Garden Revival, where I say to always think about nature. That's my rule when it comes to the garden. I think about what nature does out in the wild, and then I just try to replicate that in the garden. Nothing else added. The seventh and most important reason to not use Miracle-Gro in your organic garden is because you disrupt the natural cycle that exists in the garden and you replace it with a dependent one. Listen, this one dose of Miracle-Gro in your garden isn't going to be just one dose, because when you introduce outside chemicals, it disrupts the entirety of the cycle in your garden so that your plants become dependent on it. They don't just need one dose, they need lots of doses. There's a reason why Miracle-Gro is a billion-dollar company. It's important to remember when it comes to gardening that it's not just plants and fast growth that's at stake. The soil is at stake, your health is at stake, and the planet is at stake too. So next time you're shopping in the garden center, skip this stuff. I didn't grow up with an organic garden. In fact, my grandfather, who was a head of horticulture, he swore by using Miracle-Gro. So it took me a while in my own journey to figure out how I could grow a garden naturally and organically. And I'm telling you the entire story in a recent podcast episode that you can watch right here. Before you leave, please, please, please subscribe to the Gardenary channel. We want to send a message to everybody that organic gardening is the way to go. So I would love if you would share this video with all your gardening friends, anyone who's using the blue stuff on their plants. Wake them up, help them see that they can grow a beautiful, productive garden without ever having to buy that synthetic stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you with another organic gardening tip next time.